are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome, you're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using a Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106, and 45.
Please.
And
Your attention, please.
they started,
There has been
and
an
we
alarm
have a
report
guest,
in the building.
which
Please
is the fire
proceed to the
department.
stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
Not fighting him. This is. I must have prayed for. Oh, the P word, which I don't have in my vocabulary, or flexibility. So I apologize ahead of time. I did put a request in and said, please, can we not do it during my live show? So they actually started early at 8:05. But it looks like we're going to have my very special guest, which is really testing for my safety. So I'm not complaining at all, but you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumbles, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, you name it. I'm there because I want to splatter you with more hope and happiness. So that's why I'm everywhere. And I'm so delighted. We have our cashew gallery here. My co-captains are here, Orville Nation, streaming in from Portugal. And of course, Last Call with Troy Pacelli, the name of the show. Troy, I was on his show on Friday. That was a lot of fun. And he is also co-captain of my cashew gallery. If you're wondering what that is, it is my version of a peanut gallery, and you can easily get in there and get a lot of love from them by not when you're driving, but when you're not driving. Please do free subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way you'll get an alert every 8 a.m. morning to tune in and come chat and see what we're talking about. And yes, I am Dr. Marissa, your hostess,
Attention, please.
producer
May I have your attention,
of
please?
the morning.
There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
Yes, do not use the elevator. This will give me some time to do this as well. So let's get in real quick. Let's have some breakfast. It is Mental Health Matters Mondays, and we're actually going to talk about narcissism today, which seems like a very favorite topic for a lot of people. Honestly, this last week I came across 3 different people who were talking or taking tests or listening to something about narcissism. So I thought, you know what? We're going to talk about it today. Maybe a little bit of a twist. Instead of asking, am I with a narcissist? We're also going to be addressing, why would I be with a narcissist? So that's today's topic on Mental Health Matters Mondays. We're also going to take a look at my really interesting weekend to look at what the aliens are doing and my encounter with Lieutenant Dan from the very beloved movie Life is a Box of Chocolates, Forrest Gump. Actually, let's start that with my breakfast with Dr. Marissa. Please do put your gratitudes in the chat. I am grateful that I actually have a now double in with the movie Forrest Gump, because I also interviewed Tom Hanks' best friend in the movie A Man Called Otto. And if you haven't seen it, it's like super high marks, super high reviews, super high numbers. And because
May I have your attention, please?
of that,
May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm report.
Because of that actor, Tom Hanks actually knows who I am. So that's now 2. And certainly the encounter, and he's an amazing guy, but we'll talk about him in a minute. So that's my second gratitude. My third gratitude is that I love my life and all the things that I got to do yesterday. I got to paddleboard. I did my regular swim and gym, bike, and then I also took a bike ride to Shoreline Village, which was super fun. So I had a very active day yesterday, and you'll see some of those clips on my social media this week. And let's see, what are you guys grateful for? Troy's grateful that I was on his YouTube show last fall. It was a blast. And Gary's here. Let's see, I guess there's someone new. Gary Sinise, star of Mission to Mars. Okay. I, as usual, I don't have a TV. I haven't had a TV for, I want to say almost 10 years. And I joke.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building.
Yes, I am your hostess, and I am also if my advice is good, why isn't she using? I use my advice 88% of the time, Orville, so that you know 100% of the time means I'm perfect, and I'm not. All right. So what else here is going on in the cashew gallery? All right, here we go. I'm also grateful for all the support I have around me, people who lift me up and spur me on to success. Yes. I am grateful that I surpassed my 2,000 subscriber, and I did get an email from YouTube saying that I was now eligible for additional making of funds for something. So yes, I am grateful that even though I don't always take Orville Nation's advice easily, like a spoonful of sugar with the medicine that goes down, it does appear that focusing on my YouTube channel a little bit more is paying off. Let's see, any more? Oh, let's see. Grateful for Dr. Marissa's friendship. PJ and I met at Carnegie Hall many years ago. His real name is, well, I just told you, PJ, and that was a pretty cool thing. He wanted to get a hold of my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, and I'm gonna just say I'm grateful for him as well. Michael Bernard Beckwith, founder of Agape International Spiritual Center. He is also the one who introduced me to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. We just celebrated 37 years.
To the building. Do not use the elevator.
All right, Orville, I hear you loud and clear. Capital letters.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
It's actually kind of
There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please.
All right. So let's go to the bottom of the bun, which is, what do I appreciate about myself? Why do I do this? It's my BS belief system that mental health, good mental health, that's what we're focusing on every Monday, means that you do what you can to take responsibility for caring for yourself. And knowing how good you are, not all the time, not 100% of the time, but 88% of the time, is one of those things that can really, it can up level your happiness, because then you're not bobbing on the ocean of people's opinions. So you're not walking around looking for love in all the wrong places and looking for likes, literally, which is why I don't focus on numbers, because, you know, the most important person that you need to attend to on how they feel about you is the buck stops right over here. And so that's why we do the bottom of the bun. So what do you like about yourself? I appreciate that I 88% of the time go with flow. I appreciate my sense of humor, even though not everybody gets it. And my husband told me I was not funny every single day. It's the best thing about divorce is I own my funniness. Let's see. Maria is here. Welcome, Maria. She had a great show on Friday as well with my co-host from Fridays, Alon Carter. Yeah, you're gonna have to write another a short sketch for me to do when I do come on. Let's see what I have a great thank you. You're supposed to be talking about what you appreciate about yourself right now, not complimenting me. Let's see who else is here. Kim Summers. Thank you. Grateful that family trauma stops with my generation. My children are flourishing. Thank you for that entry. I am.
Attention, please. May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
Just D1 is here. Welcome to the Cashew Gallery chat. She's grateful that she got to sit with me in the jacuzzi yesterday. So you're probably also hearing this here. I appreciate that I'm a fashionista. I love to dress for success and for creativity. Let's see if you can see this particular outfit that I just got. And you can't really appreciate it until you see the whole thing. Let's see. There we go. So she has a, what's in the way here? Your chair. Can you see that? It's a face with lips. Am I going the wrong way? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we're just like having some fun here. Any other appreciations before I close breakfast with Dr. Marissa? Let's see. I appreciate that I am a good mom. So going off of Kim's comment earlier of her appreciation, I believe that our only job is to do a little better than our parents did, who, honest to God, did not know any better. I know sometimes it feels like they should have known better, but shoulding is not a very clean sport. And honestly, parenting is not a class we take. It probably should be. And so we just not only have the genetics from our parents, we also have their primary role models. So I'm with you, Kim. My kids, I wouldn't say that they think I'm perfect, but certainly they see even my mom now, because she still is the same person. And I know I love especially when special occasions come and they give me letters or cards that really authentically and sincerely appreciate who I am as a mom. I know I didn't physically harm them, even though there were times when I wanted just to pinch them a little, but that physical abuse buck stopped in this generation, and I'm grateful for that. I did get overly angry with them at times, and that is something that, I continue to work on, but I also cut myself some slack because that's the kind of parenting that I was raised with, to scream often and loud. So I'm not too hard on myself. I probably have done that maybe less than a dozen times in my entire life. So, and certainly when I was less aware of myself. So I want all of us, if you're parents, to just stop right now and quit beating yourself up for your parenting. I'm almost 100% sure that you're doing better than your parents. And there's the value.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
And Jeff V appreciates she likes to help people, and she tries. When she fails, let's see, what have we got here? And Orville Nation appreciates mental health talk on Mondays. Thank you. I do that on purpose. Cecilia Martinez is here in the Cashew Gallery. So nice to see you. And Cecilia actually was one of my volunteers for Mental Health Monday when I was doing question and answer. And she was talking to me about her husband and how she was not thrilled about the relationship. And we had a really nice, tough love session, and she's since told me that it really helped, and it does all start with you, not the other person. And that is our topic for today: narcissism. Are you with a narcissist? And signs to tell, or we're going to take a little quiz, but most importantly, why are you with a narcissist, which is the most important question.
May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairwell.
All right. And that is it for breakfast with Dr. Marissa, where we do top of the bun, gratitude, things outside yourself, and bottom of the bun, appreciation, things that you like about yourself, inside yourself. And I promise if you do this for 28 consecutive days, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. And you'll stop looking for love in all the wrong places. Because frankly, thank you, Frank, who is my sound engineer. Frankly, if you cannot approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect someone else to? And we're just getting all kinds of validation from the sirens and the fire announcements of how important mental health is. I like how I turned that around. Okay, no, there is no fire, Cecilia. It is. They told us Friday that they were going to be doing a fire alarm, and they may even walk in here to my studio, but I am just focusing on the fact that I am so grateful that I get to broadcast every weekday morning from my loving room. And so this is once in the, not a blue moon, it's more like a pink moon, because I think this happened at least twice before. But hey, we are now 605. No, it might be 5. I have to wait for the scroller here. How many consecutive weeks? Yes, 605 consecutive weeks on the air, on camera. And for that, I am super grateful. We'll celebrate that. We do that every Monday because it changes. This is show number 1070. 3. It is so amazing that people told me I would not be able to continue a show about hope and happiness, and they were wrong. 1073 podcasts means that I was doing podcasts before they called them podcasts. So that's it for breakfast with Dr. Marissa. Where is it? There it is. And thank you very much for that. Congratulations. Before you, this is funny. Cecilia used to drive ambulance, so you're used to this. This is not going to bother you at all. And Troy, yes, exactly. Here's the positive spin. It's good to know the emergency system in your building is so effective. There's no way to miss it in the event of the emergency. Thank you so much for that. And before we go to the topic of narcissism, I do want to just highlight Dr. Marissa reporting live some of the things that I got to do this weekend. I just, I love my life. You all know that. And I'm going to show you, because I have my social blog on here. And I can actually share with you some of the things that I got to do. And close this out and see if I can't make this sound. Here we go.
A very special night tonight. Ruta Lee, you remember, she was a guest on my show, kind enough to invite me to cover this beautiful, worthy event that is supporting mental health, mental illness for now how many years?
Almost 70. Believe it or not, the Thalians became known as Hollywood for mental health And we have retained that positive image for a very long time. And my darling Marissa, and how?
Peace in, peace out.
And peace out.
World peace through inner peace. Dr. Marissa reporting live with the beautiful Italy.
Thank you.
To help more beautiful people. Thank you. On something quite important, and that is taking care of our veterans.
Right.
I think it's about time we kissed yours. And I know it's for me because.
All right, and that was Ruta-Lee. She's 88 years young. You'll remember her. She was in the 7 Brides for 7. Help me, guys. It was so embarrassing. I interviewed Lisa, and I don't remember her last name, but she's in Abbott Elementary. And here's the issue is that I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV usually unless it's like a really good series. And so I'm like the worst, and I said this on the carpet, much to Harlan, my favorite publicist's chagrin. I said, I'm like the worst media recognition, broadcast journalist. And he says, don't say that. But the truth is I am, because I'm not, the good news is I'm not that starstruck, so to speak. I mean, I admire actors, but just because you're a great actor doesn't mean that you're someone, well, I don't remember anybody's name, so it's not personal, but some people's names I do remember, even if they've been on my show. Sometimes I forget. I don't know. I'm not perfect at all. And, sometimes something has to give. But I love the fact when celebrities take their limelight and shine it on areas of temporary darkness.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
All right. And here.
This is Dr. Marissa reporting live.
Please. May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Okay.
You know, there's the Asian Oprah, and I have the man of the hour tonight, Terri. You have been.
Oh, shoot.
Man of the hour tonight, Terri. You have your name's been bandied around in the most positive way tonight.
I hope so.
Yes, the work that you do for veterans and mental health. I'm going to give you Dr. Marissa's beneficial presence on the planet award. I have the good doctor here with me.
To my friend Gary Sinise. Gary is an incredible human besides being an amazing actor. Early in his career, he realized the importance of giving back. And he started his own foundation. He supported many, many veterans. This Mr. Wonderful Award was designed by Walt Disney himself for the Fairyland 68 years ago. Congratulations, Gary.
Over the years, over the decades that I've been supporting the men and women who serve our country, I think I've learned a great deal from the resilience of our military families and what they go through, and how.
Peace in, peace
I'm
out.
in the shadow.
Oh, peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Thank you so much. Dr. Marissa reporting live, balancing out bad news with good news and good people.
There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator. attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
So, all right. So while that was going on, those of you who are just listening, I was posting up the cashews. If you were watching, you actually saw I'm getting money left, right, and center. Actually, Frank, who is my fab sound engineer backstage, you just got $2 from Orville Nation. That's the first time I think you've been paid. You're saying I don't pay him enough? Actually, that's true. Nobody ever pays those who support them enough. But thank you so much also to Troy. I got $2 celebrating. I didn't even know you get paid on YouTube. So here we go. Celebrating 2,000 subscribers. That just happened on Friday. And it is 7 brides for 7 brothers. Thank you very much. Gary does a lot of stuff for veterans, for sure. He's known for that. And he is such a humble guy, which I just find most of the incredible successful actors are such. Now, the ones that are not are the ones that usually make it in the news because if it bleeds or if it yells or if it's ugly, it makes the news. Except this channel.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
I am laughing. Because I really, I did everything I
May I have your
did.
attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
All right. So I am, let's see, quiz about narcissistic personality quiz. Let's see if this is a short one. Let's see. The good news is you can Google. This is my favorite assistant now. Short quiz, 3 minutes. Here we go. For narcissistic personality disorder, I will share that with you. I wanted to set the stage on what it was we were calling narcissism. And the reason why we're doing this is not because I want to answer the question, are you with a narcissist necessarily? We'll start with that. It is probably the number one question that I hear, not just in my coaching, when I have people come to me and say, I'm in a relationship, I think they're a narcissist, how can I know? Or, and I wasn't necessarily going to talk about this. I think we've talked about it once before on another series, maybe Straight Talk, but I wanted to because I realized that that's not the most important question. Which is, am I with a narcissist? The most important question to me, especially on Mental Health Awareness Monday, is why would you even be asking that question? Because the more important question, I believe, is why would you be? And why would you, is there a pattern here? Or why would you stay? So the bigger question is, why do people stay in a negative or bad or not good for you relationship? And I did see a comment that I want to put up here, Cecilia. I'm just going to wait until, and I'm so sorry to hear about that. But maybe, okay. So Cecilia, I mentioned before, was on my show, and she had come to me with similar. I don't think she asked me if her husband was a narcissist. So her ex-husband.
Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator. May I have your...
All right. I just want to just say to you, a breath right now, and I'll ask the cashew gallery, put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath in, and release peace and comfort to your family. I think you had kids as well. Her ex-husband, who we talked about, had mental illness. They were together for 33 years. He just passed away, and this must have been somewhat recent. I think the last time I talked to you, we were talking about how my advice to you that day in our happiness coaching section was helpful because it had you focus on yourself and not on him. But he did pass away, in May, of an overdose at home by himself, and he was a veteran. And I just wanted to offer you that peace and comfort, I'm sure, on behalf of that cashew gallery and all of those. And I'm so glad you're here to get some of the love that I know you receive, and I also know that you're a different person than when you first came and were upset and complaining about him. And certainly this falls, of course, #accidentally, not accidentally. I didn't know she was coming on, but for the topic of hand, which is, what do you do when you do realize that you're with someone that is not good for you? So, but in the first half of the show, we're already in the second half. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in studio today, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show you're on KCAA. Home to the Asian Oprah, the station that leaves no listener behind. And we're talking in the series called Mental Health Mondays, or Mental Health Monday Matters. And we're talking about narcissism, but not in the way that you would think we are. But we are, to put us all at a baseline. Are you narcissistic, or are you with someone who is narcissistic? We're going to take this 3-minute test.
Do not use the elevator.
Oh, that's not the one. We're not talking about the disorder. So let's see. Where's the test? Learn more. Hack your. This quiz is not a diagnostic tool. Okay, here we go. Can you see this? Let me make sure that I have shared this. Yes. Okay. I might need to make it a little bit bigger. So go ahead and take this test with me. Those of you who are in the cashew gallery. Do you experience an exaggerated sense of self-importance that frequently involves the need to exaggerate your talents or accomplishments? You can answer this for yourself or for the person that you think might be a narcissist. It could be a friend, it could be your insignificant other, but just be consistent. So I'm going to answer this for, let's see. Oh, I'm going to do it for myself. You know, I live out loud on this show. All right. So I will say sometimes I do exaggerate. It's between sometimes and rarely. Sometimes sounds more frequent, but I'll just put that. Do you believe you are special and unique and can be only understood by or associate with other special or high status people or institutions? Well, I believe everybody is special and unique. So I understand where they're going with this. So I'm going to say rarely. Do you find that you constantly have a willingness to take advantage of others to achieve your own goals? Rarely, if not never. Do you require excessive admiration from others? I'll be honest, sometimes, you know, I preach that it shouldn't matter, that it's just icing on your cake. But, you know, I'm also a Leo in 5 planets, so I'll use that as an excuse. And I do enjoy that positive regard. Are you preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or death? Rarely. Do you have a sense of entitlement from others that involve unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance? Rarely, if not never. I'll say rarely because I can't be absolute here. I do find.
Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
Do you find You are unwilling to recognize or identify with feelings and the needs of others. This is rarely, only some people that piss me off. Otherwise, it would be never. Do others perceive you as arrogant or snobby? I think some people might. So I will say sometimes, to be honest. Do you find that you're often envious of others and believe that others are envious of you? Again, if I'm honest, sometime between rarely and sometimes, but for this one, I'll go rarely. I don't know if I want a newsletter, but I will. Let's see. My results, mild indication of narcissistic personality disorder. Okay. You show some symptoms and or experiences consistent with patterns of behavior. Oh, shoot. I forgot to give you guys this website. All right. But I'm sure you figured it out. PsyCom, if you wanted to take it yourself. It's important to note that personality disorders are diagnosed when a pattern of symptoms manifest over time. It's a good idea to seek treatment from a licensed mental health practitioner to address your specific symptoms, to learn how to build healthy reciprocal relationships. Nope, results of this quiz do not qualify as a diagnosis. All right, so, all right.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
All right, so, oops, I meant to take that off. So it looks like I had a slight, and I'm going to say, not to sound offensive, but that test was a little skewed. When I believe in healthy self-love, I don't believe ego is a bad thing. So I think that test measures maybe a little crossover from that. But it also may explain why I find myself more comfortable single and with myself as my best company a lot of the times. People have been kind to me and say, no, Dr. Marissa, it's because you're, surrounded by people a lot of the time. And so you prefer to have your time alone, and you do have a healthy sense of self-care. So that is that. So that's the test. If you took the test for somebody else, my thing would be, if you don't matter at all, right? If you are totally there to be a support and unappreciated, but it's always their needs before yours. The way I illustrate this is, if you're giving a $50 bill for a 5-cent move, they're constantly not doing anything to come to meet you in the middle, but you're doing all of the work here and they're only doing this much. That to me is, you're in a relationship with a person who could be considered a narcissist, because above all, their needs matter the most. You matter not at all. So if that is your situation, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love right now, because the focus almost always in these tests and almost always in these questions is, oh, poor me. Sorry, tough love. So my question, the most important question, is not, am I with a narcissist? See, highlighting.
Your attention, please.
Yes.
May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
Perfect timing. If you are, may I have your attention, please? If you are asking yourself constantly, is my mate a narcissist? If you've asked that question more than once, if you ask anybody if that's true, if you ask or talk about this any time more than once, I'm going to ask and turn that question on to you. Why would you ask that question and continue to stay in that relationship? Because I believe there is a little bit of an epidemic right now. I don't know if it's because we are paying attention to mental health more than before, but the ease or the comfort or the habit, the non-useful habit to stay in relationships that are not good for you and point your finger and blame the other person is beginning to erode our mental health. And that, my friends, is the real question. Why would you want to stay with anyone who you suspect is a narcissist? Let me say that again. This would be a good time for the announcement. Not that I want it, but this would be a good time or a fire engine, because I am adamant that self-care, which means you're aware of what you're doing to yourself. That is what self-care is. Are you aware of what you are choosing for yourself? Let me be very, very, very clear. We have gotten so lazy about what we believe we deserve because we think that things are done to us. And that, my friends, is the hallmark keystone of poor mental health. If you think that you have no choices, which is bullshit-talky, everybody has a choice of what they focus on, what they're looking at, what they do, what comes out of their mouth, what they can walk away from or not. And you can tell me from now till the cows come home. I don't even know where that came from, but I'm going to look that up later. That expression. We've been drinking this blame, shame, victim Kool-Aid now for way too long. And I am a one-woman band with my 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are book that I'm back on tour with. And people ask me all the time, how come you're not writing another book? It's because we're not done with happiness here. Until I fulfill at least a significant portion of my Happy 88 mission, which is 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And I'll tell you that as a large majority of that has to do with stop pointing fingers and be the boss of you. Quit dragging your past where you were a victim. When you're a kid, you are absolutely a victim. You have no choices. You cannot walk away. You cannot take care of yourself. So I'm not talking about that. But when you are an adult, you do have a choice to focus on what you can do versus focus on wanting that person to change or labeling them or trying to find out what their diagnosis is. If I had $1 for every time, how do I know my person is not a sociopath? Or how could I tell if that person there's something wrong with them? And my response is, let's first look at you. And Cecilia, you can be a witness to say that's exactly what I did to you. And uh-oh, I have a note here from Frank. So let me make sure I'm not doing anything wrong here. He's saying thanks, Orville Nation, for the money. So, Cecilia, she's my witness here that this is not something I just am doing today, but it is so true that the number one thing to do is to look at yourself. And it's not an easy thing. And Cecilia was a perfect, beautiful volunteer victim that day because she did. She looked at herself and she said, okay, I'm not going to focus on him. And the next time I talked to her, I think it was like 90 days later for a check-in. And she's like, I am happier. I am working on myself and, her 3 grown children. That she's been in the chat. Orville was sending her love. Let's see. And she is with her fiance now. And I'm happy about that for you. So let's see. Please share. Okay. So Orville Nation is still promoting me here. She has to go, so she's not going to respond, but thank you. And I really okay. So Orville is saying, why do people stay? Answering my question, why do people say they feel too invested? Which is true, and there's also that message from the church, no matter what, you have to stay in that relationship till death do you part, no matter what. I'm glad to say that some religions are actually now beginning to say, okay, when there's physical abuse and things like that, you can leave.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
That it's a hard pill to swallow, Maria is saying. That's another reason why I would say to admit that you made a poor choice. Absolutely. Some people stay because they don't think they have other options, whether it's financial. The good news is there are so many organizations, you really don't have an excuse anymore. If you feel like you are a battered woman or man, you have choices. Proof. Let's just Google search here. And I'm really not. This is tough love. I'm not going to say that it is. I'm truly trying not to be too tough love, but I am being tough love because let's see, help for battered. Okay, women comes up first. If you can see that. We'll just do that first. Help is available. There's a domestic violence hotline, 1-800-799-72733. Let me say that again, 800-799-7233. If you find it hard to dial that, find someone who you do go for help and have them dial for you. There's domestic violence organizations in California. There's so much help. Wow, look at that visual. So I am going to say, please, and just to make this balanced, let's see, battered men help. Help is available, same number, 800-799-7233. We've got we've got tons of them here. WebMD has Help for Battered Men, Help Guide, Shepherd's Door, Abused Men, San Diego Sheriff, National Domestic Violence Hotline. Men can be victim too. So I don't want to hear that.
Do not use the elevator.
Do not use the excuse. Oh, I wasn't sharing that? Oh, darn. Okay. So there you go. There's the number again. And I'll go back and just show you what I was looking at before. There's domestic violence organizations all through California. If that's where you're listening from, there's the help available. So please, please, please make that first. I call it the Happy 88 tool here is acting on your own behalf. Acting on your own behalf. And if you're older than a child, you can act on your own behalf. It may be uncomfortable. You may, it's like riding a bike. If you've never done it before, learning how to ride a bike is not easy. I ended up in a rose bush.
Do not use the elevator.
It hurt. But you can do it. Can do it. And this is your public service announcement today on Mental Health Monday Matters, is that you can act on your own behalf. This is not something that is out of your purview. All right. Let's see. Fail is a 4-letter word. QAPLA, success. Not sure what that means. It should be said in the world we are living in, there are many hello, I did that already. Thank you. Let's see. Woman liberation message can sometimes cause problems in relationships if they are not properly thought out. Yes, and let me put that news on the table for yes, the focus has been on women, me too, definitely, but also if we're putting that moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of elephant in the room, Orville Nation, it's true men are battered. It is true that they deserve the attention. However, if
For
we're
in the
looking
building, please proceed to the stairways
at
and
numbers,
exit the building.
and we look at history, and we look at, you know, where the predominance of harm was done, it was to the women. So I need to balance that out, because if we're using that as an excuse, as a reason not to focus on women, I don't think that that's fair as well. I am less concerned about numbers. Again, I'm more concerned that every single person who's listening now or later, watching now or later, knows someone who's in this situation and sharing this with them, that the most important person is that individual who feels like they are a victim, and that it is time now to say, I feel like a victim, but I am
There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building.
Big Al, welcome, welcome. I met Big Al on Friday, and he was kind enough to subscribe, and he got a free audiobook of my 8 ways.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the...
Yes, and I'm glad you hear me, Orville. I just want to make sure this is a personal thing. I do know that every person who is, it's okay to feel badly about what happened to you. It's okay to feel like a victim, but not all the time, not even 88% of the time, not even 50% of the time, not even 30% of the time. I would say 18 or 12% of the time you get triggered because of something that happened to you. You have every reason, you're human. I get triggered when someone is a bully to me. You better believe I get triggered, and it pulls me back down into that place that I was abused as a kid. You know, I that's normal, but I take responsibility for that trigger, and then I ask myself,
Do not
I exit the building. I get out of
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has...
John Carter's here. Welcome, John Carter. He is the man who actually was responsible for giving me my 2023rd and first Lifetime Achievement Award. And he's the head of the Gestalt organizational OSD. And he is a wonderful supporter of mine, and I'm glad to see you here. I know so many women that hopefully will see this program of yours. I rest my case. Shit. It is time, folks.
Attention, please. May I have your attention, please? There has been...
I want your attention. Big Al, let's see. People are saying hello. I deal with relationships all day long, and we are living in a world now where there are just so many sides to all this in the Western world. And the most important side is yours. And please, 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 if you're listening to this now or later and you feel like a victim, please make today the first day. Contact me. There's many ways to actually, if you want to go to drmarissa.life, put in Victim No More. I will send you a free audiobook copy of 8 Ways to Happiness, where there are exercises to help you stop being a victim. Thank you so much. We are out of time. This has been Dr. Marissa on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. Please do join me tomorrow. We have a singer that sings the anthem at NBA games. Ranella, she approached me on Instagram. She's my guest tomorrow. Please Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.
After attention.